and welcome to the Direct Selling Success Podcast. I'm Anna Green and I'm here to share with you tips, tricks, and training on network marketing done right. Thank you for listening.
Hi, hello. I am here to share the answer to a question I got asked the other day. Very regularly this happens, and I get the same question. How do you fit all this in? And it really intrigues me, the question that comes out, because people seem to think that I'm really busy. People seem to think and to wonder how on earth I get all this stuff done. So I run a business. Direct Selling Success, which is a full-time business. I work on this full-time. So I start at 9 in the morning, finish at about 3 o'clock-ish. The odd break every now and again. I get my lunch off. I always take half an hour at least for my lunch. I always have plenty of time for me. I'm walking the dog and stuff during that time as well. And then I sometimes do an hour or so in an evening running a course or catching up with calls or whatever it might be. I try not to work weekends. I try not to work Friday afternoons. That is my choice. That's when I work. I run the business. I have a family, I have a dog, I have a renovation project going on. I'm currently living at my mum's. The renovation project hasn't gone well and I've had quite a lot to cope with regard to rogue traders and cowboys and the rest of it at the same time as doing my business. I have a gran who I'm looking after part-time with my mum. I'm busy, okay? I am busy with everyday life as well as my business. In the business, I run this Facebook page, I run an Instagram page, I have my Facebook profile, I have my group, I have 3 membership groups, I do one-to-one coaching, I run a mastermind, I have courses that I run, I guest speak, I show up online, I network with other people, I do guest speaking lots. There's lots that goes on in my business world as well. What else do I run? A podcast, blog, website, courses, masterclasses, free challenges. It's all there. That's what I do. And more often than I don't get asked this, I get asked this. How do you fit it all in? How do you manage to keep on top of all that stuff? How do you do it? So I want to share with you how I do it, because some people think that they cannot run a business because they haven't got time. They cannot possibly do what I do. And I remember this as a regional manager in direct selling myself. Cannot do what you do. There's no way on earth I could do what you do. You're always busy. You're always showing up. You're always there. I wouldn't have time to do that. I'm going to start from the beginning, okay? So I was once where you are now. I was once the person who bought a kit and had no clue what I was doing. I once had young children. I once had another job. I once did all the other things as well. I once didn't think that I would be able to fit in what I fit in now, right? I didn't go from starting my business mid-2019, this business in mid-2019, thinking, I'm going to have a podcast, I'm going to have a blog, I'm going to have a website, I'm going to run 3 memberships, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. I didn't think that. What I did was I set up a Facebook page and I set up a Instagram account, which I hardly ever used. Once a week, maybe I posted on that. And I set up a Facebook group and then I got visible. That's what I did. I started there, right? I didn't start doing all the things. I started there and I started to build from that point. So I got visible. I started talking to other people in the online space. I started putting out there what I was doing. I started connecting with people, building relationships with people. I started posting in my group. Okay, I started thinking about what I was going to offer. So what was the first thing I was going to offer? What could it be? I think it was one-to-one coaching at £20 an hour. That's what I thought I was worth, because I didn't think people would buy my stuff. So I started booking in people for one-to-one coaching. That's what I did. And I built up. And as I realised that I only had enough space to do a certain amount of one-to-ones, I thought, well, how can I help more people? How can I impact more people? How can I grow this business and make it so that it pays off my mortgage, or it gives me the nice holidays, or, helps me impact more people. And the only way to do that was to put in something like a course or a membership. So I thought, well, I can do a membership. It'd be like running a team group. That's what I wanted. I wanted to help more people and be that team leader for the industry as such. So that's what I did. I set up the Success Lounge and I learned how to open it. So I opened that membership and I promoted that membership with a course and a challenge, a free challenge at the time, back in September 2020. I launched that. So it took me a year to build up to having something else, as well as the one-to-one and the thing. And I started to build from there, and I learned how to do other things, and I learned how to get help from people who I needed to help me with the next stage of the journey. I knew that I couldn't set up my own website. Who did I know? Who would I met through business networking, through my contacts on social media? Who did I know that could help me with that? Get them to do that. Earn enough money to be able to pay them to do the thing that I can't do. That's how it worked. So as I built and as I grew, I added more things on. And it's amazing how your brain works. And you think, I've only got enough time to do this amount of stuff. And then, I don't know, my brain, creative brain, just goes off at one and thinks, I could do that as well. I could add that into this. So I do. But I do it over a period of time. I do it gradually. So I added something else in, and then I added something else in. And I thought, well, actually, I should really be showing up other places as well. So I'll start a blog. I really like to be able to show up live in people's Facebook groups. Well, I'll add that in. But it was a slow process. It wasn't like one day I wasn't doing it and the next day I was. I just built it up gradually. And as I built it up gradually, I delegated certain things. I reasoned that I've got a choice of spending time on something or spending money on something. What am I best spending my time on? Money-making activities. What am I best spending money on? Things that either I don't want to do or I can't do. Or things that don't make me the money that somebody else could be doing while I am making the money. So that's how I worked it. And you can do the same with your business. You can't show up everywhere at once. You can show up in the places you need to show up for where you are right now in your business and add things slowly. Okay, my Facebook group, for example, takes care of itself pretty much now. I am quick with the content creation. I know what I'm going to post. I can find the audience because I know what works to find my audience to build that group. I know now how to run a challenge, so I can do that quicker than I could before. I know now how to upload things to my website and edit videos for my podcast. And if I don't want to do them, I can earn enough money to get someone else to do them to make me more money in the long run. So I've learned all this, but it wasn't a straightforward, one day I'm not doing, the next day I am. It built slowly. And I want you to understand this, because when you think, how does she fit it all in? How does your upline fit it all in? There's no way I could be doing that. You can, but it just takes time. So what sort of things do I do to make me motivated enough to be able to do all the things that I do? One, my why is really strong. I know what I want. I know I want to grow this business. And the only way to grow this business is to put the time in, put the effort in. And that's what I do. But I do it in such a way that I try things. And if they don't work, I'll keep trying them for a bit longer to make sure it's not just a time element. And then I'll scrap them and try something else. I'm forever adapting. I am forever trying new things, testing new things, and keeping going with the things that I know work. Every single Friday, without fail, I have shared or my business on Follow Friday posts in groups with my ideal client, because I know that builds my business. I connect with other people on there. I chat, I comment, I build relationships in those groups, because that's what builds my business. I know this. I plan my year. I know when I'm doing launches. I know when I'm doing challenges. I know when I'm going to put something else out there. And yes, I am very impulsive, so I will chop and change things, but I have a plan of how I'm going to make the money I want to make this year. I have a plan of what I'm going to do, and I've broken it down so I know what I'm going to do every single day. And that's what keeps me motivated. And yes, I keep changing it, and yes, I keep building and adding new things and changing things, but all fits in with that strategy that I've got, the one thing that I want to do at the other end, that one thing that I want to achieve. My why is strong for that thing I want to achieve. I'm going to blooming do it. My mindset. I don't say things like I haven't got time. Or if I hear myself saying I haven't got time, I think, well, actually, that's not true. What have I got time for? How can I fit it in? Or is it something I've got to park for a later date and do something that's got more priority? I have learned how to do that. If I get procrastinating or overwhelmed, I recognise that I'm that. And I think, why am I doing that? What is causing me to do that? How can I adapt and twist and change the things that I'm doing so I stop myself from the big bits of overwhelm and procrastination? I do get overwhelmed and I do procrastinate, but I recognise I'm doing it so I can get over it faster. The belief that I can do this business is massive now. It didn't used to be. I used to worry that I wasn't doing the right thing. I used to worry that nobody would want to buy from me. I used to worry that I couldn't go live because of whatever reason, hair's a mess, makeup's not right, big spot on chin, whatever. Don't anymore, because I've reasoned now and I've worked on that belief that if people don't accept me for who I am, I don't want to work with them anyway. And that took a lot. And I know that sounds really, or it can sound really, not big-headed, I can't think what the word is. But that's how I feel inside my brain now. If people don't like me for who I am, they're not my people. I wouldn't be the best person for them to train them, to support them, and vice versa. So they are better off with somebody else. So I've got that far in my self-belief and confidence now. You might not be at that point, so that's okay. You can build to that point, but it takes time and it takes work, okay? I have learnt productivity hacks. I know that I do a live in my leader tier of my membership at 9 o'clock and it takes me 15 to 20 minutes. I have a 10-minute gap on a Monday morning and then I do this live. I know that if I have that 10 minutes, I'm going to do something with that 10 minutes. Yes, it might be making a cup of tea sometimes if needed. But more often than not, it's filling out my goal sheet. It's catching up with a text message that I haven't yet replied to. It's planning my next 3 hours. It's sorting out some paperwork. It's doing something with that time because it's a short amount of time. I've got a 10-minute task list that I was taught to have years ago. Have a list of tasks that are just 10 minutes long or less than 10 minutes long that you can just fit in between things. I've learned productivity hacks like that. I have learned that if I plan my day the night before and have the 3 most important things I want to get done the night before, ready for the morning, I am more productive in the morning. I've also learned that unless I have something that I have to commit to first thing in the morning, I procrastinate all morning. I do nothing until that first appointment. So I book in a one-to-one or a live or something first thing in the morning, so I go straight to work. I have that accountability to myself to have to start work at that time because I'm doing something for somebody else. Otherwise I wouldn't. I would sit, drink tea, watch the telly, might play on a game on my phone because that's what I do. And if I can stop myself from doing that in a way that works for me, I'm going to be more productive. I learn an awful lot. When I was setting up my membership the first time back in 2020, I didn't know how to set up a membership. I didn't know how to accept payments. I didn't know what to put in there. I didn't know how to attract the members. I didn't know how to create the tech or record a course. I didn't know anything. But I knew I wanted to do it, so I learned how to do it from somebody who'd done it before. So I found someone who'd done it before and I learned from them. I learned on a free challenge and then I paid for some support, which was, I think it was about £40 a month, to get the support I needed to do the thing I wanted to do. I would advise you all to do that within your budget. If you have no budget, you learn for free. Everything that you can learn for free. Absorb everything you can for free. Use it, then go out and take the action to make the money, to pay somebody to learn the next bit, right? And then learn that bit, take the action and pay somebody to learn the next bit. So, for example, I run a £9 Success Seekers membership, then a £34 Success Lounge. Then I have the leader tier, which is 47. Then I have courses and I have masterminds. My mastermind is £3,000 for 8 months with me. I have one-to-one coaching, which is £250 an hour. Depending what stage you're at, you pick the thing that's relevant to you and build from there. You don't go in for the big high cost £3,000 mastermind until you've done the things relevant to get you to that point. That is how I've always trained. So that's how I've built my business. Because I know people need the £9 support to get to the £34 support. They need the £35 support to get to the £47 support. I did the same. I needed the free support, then I needed the next support that I paid a bit for, and now I'm paying £10,000 to £15,000 for a mastermind that is getting me to that next level. But I wouldn't have done that 4 years ago when I started my business. I earned the money. I learned the things. I wasn't ready for anything else. I didn't want to put stuff on my credit card. Don't put stuff on your credit card, okay? Learning and development is key, but at the right stage for your business, right? And don't let that FOMO or shiny object syndrome get in the way. That is the worst thing you can possibly do when it comes to training. And then the biggest thing that I've done to change my business is the action. So I fit it all in by taking the action. I don't sit and ponder about the action for long, or if I do, I recognise I'm doing it and work out why I'm doing it. I take consistent action. I have built the foundations of a business from, starting out to doing all the things, and you can too, if you want to. It's not about how do I fit it all in. I'm not like you. There's no way I could do that. If I look at somebody who's doing, £1 million turnover in a year, I look at them and think, I can't do that. But actually, in my heart of hearts, I'm thinking, I can't do that yet because I'm not at that stage yet. Next year, maybe, year after, maybe. But at the moment, I'm doing this to build to that next thing. Rather than thinking like, I know some of you think it, there's no way I can be a leader. There's no way I could be an executive leader. There's no way I could run a region. Yet, right? The question is yet. You're building to that thing so that you will do it in the future, if that's what you want. There's no way I could make this a full-time business. There is, but you've got to work towards the things first, right? So that's my lesson for you today. Please, give me some comments, give me some love, share it with your team if you found it valuable. If you want anything information-wise, if you've got any questions, drop into my inbox. I will see you all soon. Have an amazing rest of your Monday. Bye.